Closing in on a verdict. We begin tonight with a big story of the developments in the Kilpatrick corruption trial.
After 5 months and more than 100 witnesses, both sides have finally rested.
7 Action News investigator Heather Catallo has been following this story from day one. Heather, tell us how the final day of testimony went.
Well, it was very brief. Bobby Ferguson's lawyer called 2 final witnesses, and then both sides told the judge that they were finished. That means this case is just days away from being in the hands of the jury. After Kwame Kilpatrick, his father Bernard Kilpatrick, and his friend Bobby Ferguson all stood up and told the judge they were choosing not to testify, both sides in the Kilpatrick corruption trial are finally done. 5 months ago today, the jurors started undergoing the extensive jury selection process, and now they are within days of starting deliberations. Defense lawyers called only 11 witnesses compared to about 100 witnesses federal prosecutors put on the stand. Bernard Kilpatrick's lawyer called no one at all, but refused to tell us if that's because he thinks the feds did not meet their burden of proof against his client.
No, I've got no comment on how the case closed. We'll have plenty of comment next week.
Trying to fight prosecutors' allegations that Ferguson was a corrupt contractor, defense attorney Gerald Evelyn questioned his 2 final witnesses today. The first was a representative from Michigan Cat. That's the company where Ferguson purchased more than $2.2 million worth of equipment. Robert Schneider II vouched for Ferguson's business skills, telling the jury a lot of the equipment he purchased gave him a competitive advantage for getting jobs. Up next, Ferguson's insurance agent, who testified that he never received a single complaint against Ferguson, a feat he referred to as special. As they have done for many of the defense witnesses, federal prosecutors chose not to ask them any questions today and did not call any rebuttal witnesses.
Government may be willing to live with what the witnesses say. See, but that's fine. That doesn't really undermine our case.
At 10:37 a.m., the defense rested, but it's not over yet.
Just getting ready for closing arguments, and the case ain't over, and we can't rest, and you know, we're confident, and just keep fighting, Heather. That's all we can do at this point. Got to keep fighting.
Seems like we are finally in the home stretch. Now, I would imagine that some of the defendants might actually have their guard down a little bit since this is almost over. Did you talk to any of them today?
I did. Bernard Kilpatrick told me he actually feels pretty good. He says he feels a lot better than he did on day one. His son and Mr. Ferguson still not answering questions, which is pretty much what they've done from the beginning. They just do what their lawyers tell them and
well, you'll be on it to the very end, I'm sure. Heather, thank you very much.